north to south, coast to coast, east to west. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on the USA Radio Network. I'm James Parker sitting in for John David. How you doing? If you want to jump in on the show, water's warm. The invitation is open. 844-RADIO-US, 844-723-4687. What's going on at the Grand Canyon? You ever been to the Grand Canyon? I kind of want to go, but then again, I kind of don't. Because I think I'm going to do what happens in National Lampoon's Vacation when you go out. It's like, hey, here's the Grand Canyon. Yep, there's the Grand Canyon. And then you just leave. It's a big old hole. I got it. It's a big ditch. It's the most spectacular, most awesome ditch ever. But it's just a ditch. But on March 26th, a foreign tourist went over to the biggest ditch in America. And it took him a while, but they eventually found his body in a wooded area south of Grand Canyon Village. He had fallen down the side about 400. Are they doing this in meters? Oh, no, feet. That is in 400 feet. 400 feet below the rim. 2 days later, a 50-year-old tourist from Hong Kong fell into the canyon. He was taking photos, and he was leaning over the edge, and he kept edging forward, and he kept edging forward, and he kept edging forward until he fell. The fall happened at some place called Eagle Point. It's close to the Skywalk attraction, which I'm mentioning because I've actually seen that online. Have you seen that? It's that little ledge, that balcony you walk out over the Grand Canyon, and it has a glass bottom, so you can just look down. I don't know how people do that without wearing a diaper, but I would need a diaper for that. So that happened on March 26th and March 28th. This week, the third death at the canyon. And just a little over a week happened. It happened Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. A 67-year-old man took a header off the side of the ditch, the side of the Grand Canyon. It is located on the South Rim, Grand Canyon Village again. Now this area is open to public and visitors. And usually they don't have this kind of problem. People understand that, hey, if you fall 400 feet, that's not going to tickle. That's not a bad way to go. If you're 67 years old, you've lived your life, right? I mean, for the most part, you're going to miss out on some cool stuff your grandkids are doing. But you already fell in love and got married and started your career and did something with your life, and you have a body of work to look back on, and you have kids, and then when you're 67, hell, they probably have kids or they're on their way to having kids, and you know, you're pretty much either retired or about to retire, and you're about to reach the coasting phase of life. So really all you're going to miss is coasting. And I either want to die completely inconspicuous or glorious. I want no middle ground in my death. I either want to fall asleep and something happens, I get a blood clot or aneurysm or something when I'm asleep and I don't wake up. Beautiful. It's how my grandfather did it. Well done. Gives me a little bit of hope. Maybe I should be so lucky. Or I would like to die spectacularly. I've fallen off the Grand Canyon. Wouldn't be that bad. Maybe if I was done, like if I had stage 4 terminal cancer and only had a week or a month or whatever to live anyway, I would go to that skywalk just to freak everyone out and intentionally stand on the side and act like, oh, I'm about to slip. And at the very end, I would slip. Just mess with people. And when I think that, then my next thought is, why don't people do this already? If you know you're going to die, if you're terminally ill, don't you want to mess with people on your way out and make a headline or something? You know, because there are bad ways to die. Like when Paul Walker was street racing and he got in a car wreck and he banged his head on the windshield so hard it caved his face in, and he slowly died over the course of the next like 20, 30 minutes. That sounds pretty awful. I want that instant death. I don't want to feel pain. And if there's a spectacular fashion in there, sign me up for that. But I don't think that's what these guys were after. The 67-year-old, maybe, but I mean, 50 years old, and they don't even know how old the other guy is yet. They have to go check with where is he from and his ID and all that good stuff. So they didn't even bother putting it in USA Today. But this is one of those things where if this sounds good to me, you know, I'm kind of a sicko, but there are a lot of people out there who are sicker than me. They may be encouraging some copycat deaths. In fact, we may be into the copycat phase of this. 3 deaths at the Grand Canyon in the last 2 weeks. How do we know this last guy didn't read those first two stories and have a similar reaction to me? Heck, I'm terminal. I might as well just go out anyway. See? Now you're thinking about it. I always thought to myself that if I was, I'm from right outside of Dallas, and I always thought to myself if I was ever terminal and I knew I was going to die and death was imminent, I would climb up on top of the Bank of America Tower in the middle of downtown Dallas. It's the one with the little green stripes up the side. And jump off. 77 stories, bud. Just hit the ground. Try and aim for a car maybe just to make a mess. Try and avoid people. I don't want to land on somebody. But that's how you go out. Because, boy, it would be a rush. You would get your little adrenaline hit there, but no pain, really. No real pain involved. Yeah, that little bump at the end, it's going to hurt. But you're not going to feel it. You're basically going to be vaporized, I imagine. All right, so Donald Trump, we get an update on his situation. Another woman has accused, did I say Donald Trump? I meant Joe Biden. I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong soundbite over here. We got some soundbites from Trump coming up, too, about Biden. But Biden, first off, there's an update on the story since last we met yesterday. Another woman has come out and accused him. And so now we are in this weird phase here where media outlets are making lists. There's now a running list of Joe Biden's accusers that are open, non-anonymous, on the record. And so there's Lucy Flores, Amy Lapos, DJ Hill, Caitlin Caruso, Ali Call, Sophie Karasek, and Vale Yount. There they are. Y-O-U-N-T, like Robin Yount, I guess, the old ball player. So we got a list going. That's pretty cool. Look, I kept a Bill Clinton list. There's 23 women who've accused him of sexual assault. That doesn't even count the consensual affairs. So I got a Bill Clinton list. Do I need to keep a Biden list, though? I didn't drag this over into a notepad file and save it for the archives. But maybe I should. Here's what you need to know, though. Out of all of these accusations, none of them are that bad. He's not. There's no sexual assault. There's no real groping. He's not touching anybody's booty or anybody's boobies or anybody's front. But there is touching. There is personal space. And there is the sniffs. The sniffs are the creepy part. Because I like to think of when I see the creeper videos of Joe Biden hugging up on some little kid, what if that was my 12-year-old girl? And I'd be okay with the hugs. I'd be okay with him kind of getting down in her face a little bit. Heck, it's the Vice President of the United States, trying to be empathetic and look like a human being in front of the cameras. Maybe even a kiss on the back of the head. That'd be a little creepy, but the sniffs made me be like, hey, what are you doing? You don't sniff a 12-year-old girl. You know, and my dad's a super affectionate guy. My dad's so nice, you would wonder how he's related to me. If my dad has a vice, it's that he's too nice. You almost think he's lying. When someone checks him out at the grocery store, he's like, thank you. I really hope you have a good day. And they don't know if he's making fun of him or not. Like, are you being a sarcastic bastard? What did I do wrong? No, he's just really that nice. And I know societal norms are changing and evolving every day, and things aren't the same as they were 50 years ago. But I remember it was about 10 years ago, me and my dad were in public, and we were kind of in a crowded situation, and a kid had got separated from his mom. And he ran up, and for some reason, I don't know if he can just sense my dad's angel aura around him, but he goes up and he hugs my dad's leg. And this kid's about 6 years old, maybe 5. And so my dad's like, oh, what's the matter? He's like, I can't find my mommy. And so my dad picks him up and does a little sit on the forearm, kind of gives him a couple bounces. He's like, well, where did you see her last? What does she look like? Do you know her name? And you know what I said? I said, Dad, you better put that kid down. If anybody sees a 60-year-old middle-aged white guy handling a kid that's not his, they're likely to beat us with a club. And he goes, I'm trying to help a kid. I'm like, I know you are. I know what's in your heart. I know you have good intentions. But people that look like you and me are not allowed to pick up strangers' kids. We've been so demonized in the media, you know, with all the To Catch a Predator. And so I can kind of feel Biden's pain over here where he's like, you know, societal norms have changed and, you know, my intentions are good. And you know what? I will give him the benefit of the doubt on everything except for the sniffs. I can't figure out the sniffs. My dad didn't sniff that kid. I don't think my dad's ever sniffed anybody. Well, probably my mom, but he hasn't sniffed me. And if he did, I'd be like, what the hell are you doing? So when you go sniffing I have no problems with everything else that Joe Biden has done except for the sniffs. But he's having a little fun with it now, and good for him. Yesterday he was speaking at an event, and when the guy announced his name, Lonnie said, hey, coming up, our former vice president, Joe Biden. The crowd's clapping, and as they're crossing each other, when Biden's going to the podium and the guy's going to side stage, they stop and they give each other a quick hug. And then when Biden gets to the podium, he cracks a joke.
I just want you to know I had permission to hug Lonnie.
Yes. You know what? Good for you, Joe. Good for you. That's a great way to handle it. I mean, he still didn't address the sniffs. But making a joke, that's pretty solid. That's pretty safe. Politically speaking, it's a smart move, but he also pulled it off really well, didn't he? Because your big problem is it was his first public event after this hype had blown up about the touching and the groping, and I wish they would mention the sniffs more, because I think that really is the crux of what's going on here. But everybody's thinking about it, and everybody's wondering if he's even going to address it or bring it up at all. And what does he do? He brings it up first thing. He does a joke. He puts everyone at ease and knocks it out the park. This is why he's a good politician. Trump brought up Biden today, too. I despise when he does this, when he talks to the press gaggle in front of the helicopter because the audio's so bad. But, boy, we get some good stuff from it.
Exactly is offensive about Joe Biden's behavior, and are you the right messenger for that?
Yeah. Oh, see, first off, I like the question. Are you the right messenger? Because he had talked about grabbing him by the pee, and I just kiss him, if I can tell a chick likes me, and he's cheated on every wife he's had and had affairs in public. And all right, we got it. And that's a reasonable question, but answer's good, too.
What exactly is offensive about Joe Biden's behavior, and are you the right messenger for that?
Yeah, I think I'm a very good messenger, and people got a kick out of it. He's going through a situation. Let's see what happens. But people got a kick. We got to sort of smile a little bit, right?
John, do you see Joe Biden as a threat? Do you see Joe Biden as a threat?
No, I don't see Joe Biden as a threat. No, I don't see him as a threat. I think he's only a threat to himself.
So that's great, man. I kind of like these press gaggles because we're off the cuff. And it's not that Trump's off the cuff. The media's off the cuff, too. And that just works out so much better. When they have the planned press conferences and he calls on someone to ask a question, it's the question they wrote down probably earlier that day. They at least wrote it down 5 minutes before the press conference started. They're reading the script. This is so much cooler because it's not just the first question. It's the follow-up question, too. Are you the right person to be giving this message? Yeah, hey, I'm the right person to give this message. He's a little bit of a creeper. Do you consider him a threat? See? He lets you know exactly what's on their mind. And those weren't too bad questions either. I got a couple more clips from Trump in front of that loud helicopter with the annoying wheeze. But he's going to explain why he's doing a rally instead of going to the Correspondence Center. Now, you and I know why. It's a dumb question. But let's see what he answers. You'll like his answers, too. He gets a little petty, and that's all right. 844-RADIO-US, 844-723-4687 if you want to join the conversation. I'm James Parker. Find me on Twitter at James Parker Show. I'm in for John David Wells. This is the Wells Report on the USA Radio Network.
So the other evening I was working on my laptop on the edge of the bed, and I just fell over. I just fell asleep, and it's these Giza Dreams bed sheets. And I snuggle up with them, and I snuggle up with my pillow, and my gosh, I've slept in a lot of hotels in my time. Really nice hotels, top quality, and none of them have anything like these Giza Dreams bed sheets. But don't take my word for it. Go to MyPillow.com, use my promo code USA, and you'll get 30% off and free shipping. Give them a try. What have you got to lose? Go to MyPillow.com, click on the Giza Dreams bed sheets, and you can sleep just as well as I do. I have a wonderful night's sleep with my MyPillow and my Giza Dreams bed sheets. MyPillow.com, use promo code USA, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.